Hey guys, this is Mr. Lopez. I'm going to talk to you about Chapter 2, Rhythm, Meter, and Metric Organization. So basically, this is more than you've ever wanted to know about rhythm and meter and why it's written out, why it's called 4/4, why it's called 6/8, about music theory. So let's go ahead and get started. First off, let's talk about metric organization. So a meter or metric basically is like how we gauge the music. So the duration is the length of the sound or the silence. We kind of talked about that before. The beat, in relations to the sound wave, the beat. This is important. It's a regular, recurring pulse that divides the music into units of time. So beat, a regular, recurring pulse that divides music into units of time. Basically, a count, when you get into music theory, you understand that a count and a beat are not the same anymore. Okay, so 4/4, or let's say 6/8, there's 6 counts in a measure: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. But the beat is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so you kind of like have to grow your brain a little bit. So beat does not equal count in terms of what we're talking about here in rhythm. Subdivision, okay? So subdivision is basically the division of the beat. You have quarter notes, subdivided into eighth notes, or subdivide a quarter note into triplets, and subdivide into 16th notes, and you could keep going on into 2 or 3 equal parts. Rhythm. Now, rhythm is a series of durations, often varying, of sound and sound. So basically, rhythm is just saying you have these set notes and these set durations of notes that repeat. Sometimes they don't repeat, but together they create a rhythm. Tempo is basically the speed of the beat, and you guys know that. Let's move on. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the dot. The dot in music means that we are extending the note value by half its value. So meaning, I know it's kind of confusing. So let's talk about a quarter note. Okay, so a quarter note is worth 1 beat. When we add a dot onto it, we're adding half of the quarter note. So half of a quarter note is an eighth note. So so this full length would be a quarter note plus an eighth note. So you see right here. So it would be 1.5 beats. All right, kind of looks like a smiley face. Now, for example, let's say we have a whole note. A whole note is 4 beats. If we add a dot on that, half of a whole note is 2 beats. So that whole note turns into 6 beats. Okay, so that's what the dot does. Now let's talk about the meters that we have. So there's 3 different meters, really only 2 when you think about it. The first meter is duple, and then you have a triple meter. You have a quadruple meter, but most of the time quadruple can be broken down into duple, meaning duple, it means that there are 2 beats per measure. Now remember, a beat is not a count. We're not talking about that. So let's say we're in 6/8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so a duple means that you just feel that rhythm, that beat, that heartbeat 2 times per measure. And triple is the same thing, 3 beats per measure. So you can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Or you can have 1, 2, and 3, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 1, and 2, and 3. And quadruple just means 4 beats. But like I said, we can always divide that in half to mean duple. So I like to say, usually the only time we use quadruple is in 12/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Usually in AP theory, we only talk about duple and triple. Sometimes you get a quadruple, but there it is. Okay, so let's talk about there's different types of meters. So there's a simple meter and there's a compound meter, but we're going to talk about the simple meter right now. Okay, simple meaning, I guess, that it's easier. So basically, here's your simple meter, and here's a shortcut. Any time signature that has the 2, the 3, or the 4 on the top note means that it's going to be simple. So let's look at these examples. 2/16, that's a gross time signature, first of all. but yeah, it's called simple and duple. So it's simple because it has a 2, 3, or 4 on top, and it's duple because has 2 beats per measure. Okay, so 2/8 would be simple, 2/4 would be simple duple. 2/4 we know very well, right? 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and then 2/2 cut time. 1, 2, 1, 2, or 1, 2, 3, 4. 2/2 is also cut time. Simple triple would be 3/16, 3/8, 3/4, which we know 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, or 3/2, which basically is cut time, but you're in 3. So there's that. And then you have simple quadruple. So simple quadruple, which you have 4/16, 4/8, 4/4, 4/2. Again, these are cut time right here. You're just changing how many beats are beats are in the measure. 4/4, we know that one. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, so that's simple. So simple, 2, 3, 4 on top. Remember that shortcut. Now let's talk about the compound meter, because those aren't all the time signatures. We have different ones. So compound meter, let me zoom out so you can see that. This compound meter is anything with a 6, 9, or 12 on the top number. So 6/16, 6/8, which we're most familiar with, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it's compound duple because there's 2 beats in there. Okay, 6/4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 6/2, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That was kind of a bad example, but you get the point. Anything with the 6 on top is compound duple. All right, 9 on top. 9/16, 9/8, 9/4, 9/2, compound triple. We know 9/8 a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We know compound triple 9/8 very well. And compound quadruple, we know that too. Okay, so recapping, we have our meters, we have our written music, and we're dividing those into 2 separate categories. So we have our simple meter, and then we have our compound meters. We're dividing our rhythms into to be able to write it out. We also have asymmetrical meters. Basically, asymmetrical meters are basically things that are not symmetrical. They're 5/8, 7/8, 15, 16, weird meters that we never really see a whole lot, but you do see them when you get into the AP music theory or IB music theory realm. So those are 5/8, 7/8, whatever like 5/4, you can divide it up. They're not symmetrical. All right, moving on. Triplets and duplets. So now we have the beat, or sorry, the count or the beat. Actually, the beat, yeah. We can divide that into 2 or 3 equal parts, and we call those triplets and duplets. Triplets meaning we're breaking the beat into 3. Duplets meaning we're breaking it into 2. So we have irregular divisions of notes, meaning that you can take a beat and divide it into 3, 5, or 7 parts. This requires a bracket on the top with the number of divisions. So for example, here we go. Here's a triplet. This is 1 beat, because you can see it's a bracketed, or it's beamed all as 1. That's your cue in music to know that, oh, this is all 1 beat. So this would be beat 1. And then this next thing would be beat 2, whatever would be next. So see how it's broken up into 3? And then we have a beam with the number on top. So we're dividing it into 3. We need to tell the musician, oh, we're putting it into 3. Most of you guys are familiar with that. But you can also do 5 quintuplets. Quintuplets, yeah. So you see how the beam is connected? This is all 1 beat. So if you're in 4/4 and this was on beat 1, this would all be beat 1, and whatever would come next would be beat 2. But it's broken up into 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can say words like hippopotamus. Yeah, hippopotamus is 5. So you can say hippopotamus, hippopotamus, hippopotamus. And those would be breaking it down. So that's irregular and triplets and duplets. All right. Let's move on. By the way, if any of this doesn't make sense, ask me on Slack or ask in the channel, because I'm sure you're not the only one. Downbeats and upbeats, okay? So the pickup note, I always joke about this. Where are we going? The pickup note is called the anacrusis, and you would be surprised how many music teachers don't even know that. But I always teach my students that. The pickup note, a fancy name, is the anacrusis. It probably means something in Italian. I just don't know what it means. Okay, syncopation. Syncopation is when we have the emphasis or stress is in between the beats. So if this is the music, and we're going da 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 da, it doesn't land on the beat as opposed to da 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 da. It's all like in between the beats. That's called syncopation. A good genre of that is called ragtime. It's pre-jazz in like the early 1900s, late 1800s in America. We have a hemiola, which is I always talk about. A hemiola is called a cross rhythm. It sounds like the musician is in a different time signature. So if this is the beat right here, 1, 2, 3, hemiola would be da 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 da, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Even though we're in 4/4, so basically it feels like you're in a different time signature for hemiola. All right, guys, that is chapter 2. Everything you need to know about rhythm, maybe a little bit more than you wanted to know. A little bit shorter than our other chapters, but there you go. I'll put out some worksheets for you guys to do. Take care.